Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live tonight with my man Justn Giger. We're about to talk some Miami Dolphins schedule preview. How you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm enjoying the football season so far. Day's great. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know you're super excited about what your Miami Hurricanes did to them Florida Gators. You called it on that last episode, man. I was like, wow, he was spot on. What was
I
your
told.
thoughts about that?
I think we Cam played better than expected. I just had a feeling we were going to blow them out, even at their house. And we didn't play with like two of our best defensive players. They were out like within the first couple plays. So sky's the limit with that team. I'm excited.
Okay, cool. I know you're really disappointed about them Florida State Seminoles, man.
I am. I want them to be good, and they're not. So, all you Florida State fans, it's going to be a long season for them.
Yeah, very, very long season.
It
So, how was your work day today? Was it pretty cool?
was phenomenal, man. Had a long weekend, so today was just a busy day getting caught up, and it was a good day. What about yours?
It was good. It was good. You know, our students come on Thursday, so we got to meet a bunch of students and their parents today during orientation. So we'll meet some more tomorrow, students and parents, and then we'll be ready to take them on Thursday. So we're excited about that.
I know it's a long school season for you.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. All right, well, we're gonna get started on these Miami Dolphins, man.
All
I know
righty.
you're excited about what they looking like, cause man, they got weapons all over the place, man, all over the place. So first up, at the crib against the Jacksonville Jaguars, just a short ride, that they got to make to Miami. So what's your thoughts on that one?
Man, very similar to Miami Hurricanes first game. I think this is a blowout. I think Jacksonville's going to be better this year for sure. They got some young talent. I think ETN's going to have a good year for them. But man, we're just loaded. I mean, the only we'll be missing Chubb and we'll be missing Odell Beckham for the first four games, maybe a little longer. But we got a full team. Even Jalen Phillips came back early, so I think this is going to be a blowout, man. I'd say 14 to 21 points.
Oh wow, yeah, I can see that too. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Now this
Hmm.
next game, man, it's gonna be a tough one, man, because you'll get Josh Allen and then Buffalo Bills, but it's at the crib, so that's
Yeah.
a good thing. So what's your thoughts on that one?
Well, we'll play them twice a year. I always say at home we win because we generally play Buffalo during the winter time, and us Miami people, we're not ready. We're not used to the winter. So I say this is going to be a 14-point win at home against the Bills. I don't think that we'll beat them at Buffalo during the winter, but at home, I say we win. So we'll be up 2-0 in the first two games.
Okay, cool, cool. Now y'all got to travel all the way west up to Seattle, Washington, and play them Seattle Seahawks. What's your thoughts on that one?
They're rebuilding. Arguably, they got two good offensive players with Metcalf and Kenneth Walker. But I just think our offense just overpowers their offense at this point of the season, even without Odell. I say this is going to be a little closer because it's in Seattle, but I'd say it'd be about a 10-point game and us winning.
Okay, okay. Now listen, my Tennessee Titans got to come to Miami, man. And listen, last year there was no way we should have won that game. Y'all just gave us that one.
Gave
This
it.
year, I know they ain't giving us nothing. So what's your thoughts
No.
on that one against the Titans in Miami?
Well, I know that's your team, Mr. Brown, so I don't want to say that it's going to be a blowout, so I won't. I think it's going to be a close game, so I say 7 points or less because it's in Miami. But it will be a good game. I think Tennessee's going to be a lot better. I really do.
Yeah, I think so too. I think as long as our quarterback position stays strong, I think we can be pretty good. I definitely do.
I
All
agree.
right, now y'all got to travel to New England and pay them Patriots. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, here, what date is that, Mr. Brown? If it's not in the winter time, we got their number. So
Yeah, it's not the
again,
winner yet.
yeah. So again, in my eyes, until the weather gets really bad in New England or in Buffalo at home, those are wins. New England isn't going to be very good this year at all. They'll probably be running the ball a ton. They got a good running back, but our defense is loaded. So just like our offense, I think our defense is as loaded as it's been in I don't know how many years. So we're looking really good defensively as well.
Okay, okay. So y'all got to travel again. Y'all got to go to Indianapolis inside the dome against the Indianapolis Colts. That's my son's favorite team. He always talking trash because them and the Titans play twice a year. What you think
Mhm.
against them Colts?
I'm actually going to be at that game. And to be honest with you, I think this is a game that we probably lose at Indy. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by Indy by any means, but I think I don't think Chubb will be back by now. They're going to run a lot with Richardson, with Taylor. We're going to struggle with them, so I think that's going to be our first loss of the season at Indy.
You know, you're really one of those NFL fans that understand the NFL dynamic. And when you go on the road and play teams that even teams you think might not be good, there's a
Mhm.
solid chance that you could lose to them because it's the NFL. And on any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever time you play them, you can lose. And most fans that like their teams, they don't want to admit that, oh, my team could possibly lose this game. But you're a real true NFL fan to make
Yeah,
those kind of statements. And I appreciate that.
yeah, they got a good. Indy's got a good defense. I mean, they got a really good defense. They got a good offense now. That's going to be a tough game at Indy. I think that's going to be our first loss of the season.
Okay, okay. So now y'all get the Arizona Cardinals at home.
If we didn't lose the Colts, this would have been a game that I'd circle that we would lose because I think Arizona's going to be a lot better too with Kyler Murray, McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, they got a really good team. But I feel if we lose to Indy, I think we got a bounce back game at home against Arizona. I think that'd be a game that we'd win, but it's going to be close. I would say 10 points or less.
Okay, cool, cool. Now y'all got to travel to Buffalo, but it's not wintertime yet. So you're at Buffalo. What's your thoughts on that one?
I say we lose that game. That's a tough place to play, whether it's winter or not. It's probably going to be cold. It's probably going to be windy. They're going to have their crowd going. I don't think they're going to have a great season, but this is a game that generally we lose almost every year. So I'm going to take that, even though I feel at home is our automatic win. This one will be a 10-pointer or more loss for us at Buffalo. So at this point, 2 losses in the season.
Okay, okay. So then y'all travel to play those Rams. Are they the LA Rams? They're the LA Rams, right? Yeah,
LA
y'all play the
Rams.
Los
Yep.
Angeles Rams in
Hmm.
LA.
Hmm.
What's your thoughts on that one?
So again, if you say many years ago when they had Aaron Donald and they had that Jalen Ramsey, who's now on our team, and those other defensive players to kind of stop what we got going on. By that time, I feel we're rolling. We're coming off a loss at Buffalo. I don't think this is going to be a close one, even though they got a healthy Cooper Cup and a Puka Nakua, healthy Nakua, and then Kyron Williams running back, and they got a good quarterback. I just don't think their defense can stop us because at this time we'll have Odell back. They're going to take a loss. So I say this will be about a 14-point game by us with a win.
Okay, okay. So next y'all get the Las Vegas Raiders at home in Miami. What's your thoughts on that one?
Blowout city. Raiders stink. It's going to be 21 points or more. I like to say they're going to be good, but the Raiders stink. I got a lot of friends that are Raiders fans, and they tell me we stink. So generally, when your fans say you stink, you stink. So we usually have a letdown game, and I don't think it's going to be against the Raiders. So I would say we beat the Raiders.
Okay, okay. So after that, y'all get the Patriots at home. What's your thoughts on the Patriots?
This is the only year I feel like we're going to beat them both times at home and away. Just because, again, like I said, they're in a rebuilding year, not very talented. They're going to do some schemes that we're not used to because they're going to try to throw some things in on us. But again, by this time, I think we have Chubb back. We're a full team. Knock on wood, there's no injuries. I think this is going to be a close game, though. So I say by 7 points or less, but a win at New England at home.
Okay, okay, cool. So next, y'all got to travel, and it's gonna probably be cold to the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay.
Hate to see that one during the cold. That's a markdown loss. I already put that down. We don't travel in the cold, buddy. We're used to 85 in the winter, so it's not going to be a close game. It's not going to be a close game where we have a chance to win it. I say 2 touchdowns or maybe even more against Green Bay. So I think that'd be our third loss of the season.
Okay, okay. So then y'all get the Jets at home. What your thoughts on that with the Jets?
Aaron Rodgers better have a bionic knee, buddy. This is blowout. This is our rival. They're in New England's our rivals. I don't think that we'll have a problem beating them at home. Away could be an issue with Brees Hall, Rodgers back, Wilson, a lot of the people that they have. But again, that's a W for us at this point in the season.
Okay, okay. Then y'all travel to Houston to play CJ Stroud and those Houston Texans. What's your thoughts on that?
Again, away game. Thankfully, it's in the dome. But I do see that Houston's a lot better this year. Like you said, with CJ Stroud, obviously with Nico Collins, all the other wide receivers that they have, and their defense is pretty solid. Their coach is a defensive guy. I feel like they're going to have some good schemes to stop us and what we're trying to accomplish. So I say it's going to be a close game, 7 points or less, but I think we lose this game, which will give us our fourth loss of the year.
Okay, okay. Now listen, y'all get these boys at home in Miami, them San Francisco 49ers. Ooh, what's your thoughts on that?
So if we go back a little farther, last year we played them at San Francisco, and it was Mike McDaniel's first game against his old team, and they blew our doors off. Blew our doors off. We started off really hot, and then they blew our doors off. They stopped us on every single play after the first quarter. I don't think that happens again this year. I think Miami's got this circled. This is their season game. This is if they can make it and show that if they can make it far in the playoffs, that they could play a 49ers, let's say in the Super Bowl, and have a chance to beat them. So I say this is going to be a close game, maybe a 3 point to 7 point game, but I'm going to give us the W for that one.
Okay, cool. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Now y'all go to Cleveland, and it's gonna be cold against the Cleveland Browns. What's your thoughts on that
Man, I hate the Browns. Well, I don't hate them. That's a strong word. I don't like the Browns very much, but at Cleveland at this time of the year, hopefully we only have 4 losses at this time. We may rest a couple of our good players. You never know. It's the NFL. I'm saying this is going to be a close game, but I feel like Cleveland will win this game by 7 or 3 points. So I'd say at this point we have our 5 losses.
Okay. So you're in the season against the New York Jets in New York, and
Mhm.
it's cold. So what's your thoughts on that one?
So I think we had this conversation about the Hurricanes in their last game. I think it really just matters of where we're at in the playoff picture. If we're a guaranteed one in the AFC East, or maybe a first round bye, or something in that nature. We have home field advantage, and we could take a loss. We may sit the house. Might let the Jets get a win, even if they're not. If they're trying to get in the playoffs and they're on the brink of it, we'll try to stop that from them. But it's up in the air. I feel like we could, if we have to win this game, we're going to win it. If we don't, we're not going to play our starters, and we're going to sit it out for the playoffs.
Okay, okay. So you looking at them being what 12-5,
Yep,
something
yep.
around in there?
I
Okay,
think
okay.
our best season that we've had since was that 2002, maybe three, when they had Chad Pennington, is our best year that we've had for a long time. I think last year we had a really good year. Um, but again, when the playoffs came, they showed all the other teams that we played showed a little bit more ability to win those games. I think this year is the year for us. This is the best team on paper that I've seen the Dolphins have. And I've been a Dolphins fan. I'm an old man, but I've been a Dolphins fan for a really, really long time. And we're excited this year. This is a fins up year. This is big.
Yeah, I definitely believe that they're going to be one of the top two teams in the conference. Um, them and Kansas City Chiefs, of course. Um,
Hmm.
but it could go either way with either one of those two. And I
Yeah.
really believe one of those two are going to be in the Super Bowl out of the AFC, I mean, NFC conference, whatever
Well,
conference it is.
AFC. The biggest thing that I noticed even last year, we played the Chiefs in the first round, and it was negative. 20 degrees, if you remember that game, and
Yeah,
we're not built for that. So
right,
again, I think that has a lot to do with the season. We have a really good season. Maybe we have 5 losses. Maybe we're looking at a home bye, and then you're not looking at playing Kansas City at Kansas City when it's negative 20 degrees.
right, right.
So but I'm excited. I'm really excited for our offense with the pickups like Jonnu Smith, the tight end from Atlanta Falcons. Just even getting Odell. I think it's just a gigantic another piece that we just had to put in there. And like I said, if we get Chubb back healthy after the 6th game, you got both D ends there. Picked up a lot of good free agents. Man, I'm telling you, man, this Miami year is great all the way around. So,
Right, right, right. Yeah, hopefully your boy will get some help out there with the Heat, and they can be solid this year in the NBA as well.
oh man,
Jimmy Buckets. Yeah. Oh, it went out. Maybe he'll jump back in here in a little bit. He might have hit a button real quick and took him off the screen. So hopefully he'll be back in a minute. But that was some great analysis by Justin. A lot of times, people think that their team is going to win all the games on the schedule. And that's just not the case in the NFL, man. Any given Sunday, you can get beat. So we'll give him a little bit more time to get in because I had a couple of more questions that I wanted to ask him. So if he comes back, I'll get to ask him those questions. If not, then we'll end the show in a little bit. But whatever you do, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Please hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. And make sure that you share our videos. We're almost to 200 subscribers. I think we're at 195 subscribers now. We want to try to get to 200 and so on and so forth until we can get up to 1,000 subscribers. And that might take us a little while, may even take us a whole year, but we'll want to plug away at it so we can get to 1,000 subscribers at some point. But our first goal is 200, and we're at about 195, 197. So hopefully we can get all the way up to 1,000 subscribers at some point. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. I don't know if he's going to make it back or not. He hasn't texted me. Well, let me see. He may have texted me to let me know that something went wrong. Okay, yeah, okay. Here he's back.
happened, but it cut out completely. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Was
But
that
we back on.
okay? Was that on me or was that on your?
I don't know. I don't know. It
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah, I don't know. But we
All
back
right.
on. So I
Perfect.
was telling them that to make sure that they subscribe, hit the like button, and all that good stuff. But I had a few more questions I wanted to ask you, just as it pertains to
Okay.
sports in general. So,
hmm
what is your thoughts on the game Thursday night between Kansas City and the Baltimore Ravens? What's your thoughts on that one?
I think Baltimore is going to be better because of Derrick Henry. I know that's your old Titan. I know that's a guy that a lot of people are marking off. They don't think he's going to do much, but I think that just having him on that team is going to make Lamar Jackson that much stronger to throw the ball. As long as Lamar's healthy and Mark Andrews is healthy and Henry is healthy and some of those other guys, their defense is always great. I think Kansas City loses that first game. I really do. I think Baltimore has a lot to prove. Um, I really do like the Ravens in that game.
Yeah, I like them too. I just think that the best time to get Kansas City is early in the season because
Agreed.
once they get their wheels rolling, man, they hard to beat. They are very,
Agreed.
very hard to beat.
I agree.
Yeah, my other question I wanted to ask you, what was your takeaways from this week's week one of college football? What were some of your takes from this weekend?
I mean, I was so excited to watch college football in general, so I watched a lot of games. The only game I really didn't watch was the Buckeyes because they're on the same time as the Hurricanes, and I'm not going back and forth when my boys are on the TV. But if you look at stats wise, I mean, offenses were booming off the charts in the first week. I think defense, we play good defensively, and maybe it's because it's Florida, and Florida is not very good. Or you've seen some of the defensive battles, but if you look at even the Clemson Georgia game, how the blowouts and the offense, and there's some high-powered offenses in college football. I think it's fun to watch. Man, look at the numbers that wide receiver had, 300 some odd yards, and receiving. Yeah, Travis Hunter had 3 touchdowns for Colorado, even though they didn't look great. But man, there's some powerhouses out there. I mean, there's some really good teams, and the offenses are humming. I mean, it's a different game now, as you probably see, Mr. Brown.
Yeah. I had this, but basically the same takeaway. Offenses they were like juggernauts. I was like, man, these teams are beating people 69-3 and 60-0, and I was like, what's going to happen, but not at the multitude that it happened this first week. I was like, man, teams are getting killed. They ain't scoring no points, and so that
Man,
means that those teams are playing defense, and their offenses are just humming. I mean,
yeah.
when Texas won 52-0, I was like, now Texas, y'all usually give up 10 points or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
They didn't
Oh
give
yeah.
up 9, and the team didn't even cross midfield, but maybe 2 or 3 times. So I was
Crazy.
like, wow. So I
You,
was really shocked.
do you think it's the offensive schemes in college football? I mean, just being hard to, you got a lot of players that are just athletes, and they're playing so many different positions, and the defense can't, you know, a lot for them. I mean, I even look at like a Miami team, like my team, we got a lot of wide receivers and a lot of running backs. It's hard to defend a team that has that. And it seems like a lot of the Division I teams, like a Texas, even like Tennessee this week, or Georgia, and again, I didn't watch Ohio State, but some of these teams, I mean, they got players at every offensive position, and it's hard to stop them.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think that the offensive coaches have really realized that, listen, if I put me in motion, that causes the defense to have to try to figure out what's about to happen. And as long as I got multiple guys that's in position, I can take advantage of tight ends. I can take advantage of backs out the backfield. I can take advantage of guys going down the seam. They just offensive gurus, and they're paying attention to those coaches in the NFL, like Shanahan and guys like that. The guy I think that's at the Rams, he's an offensive juggernaut too.
McVay, yeah.
Yeah, McVay. Yeah, they're watching those
Hmm.
kind of guys and how they're running them offenses so that they can get their players really prepared to go in the NFL and be seamless, really.
Right, I agree.
Yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to defend. I mean, you can't go zone against these teams. If you do go to zone, they're just going to dump and dive you for 5, 10 yards every time. You can't go. If you're playing man, you got too many athletes. A linebacker's going to be lined up with a slot receiver, and they're going to go. You
right.
got running backs that are strong and fast and elusive. Like it's tough to. I mean, Georgia. I mean, Clemson's offensive scheme isn't very good, but Clemson's got a lot of athletes, and Georgia's got just a phenomenal defense.
Yeah,
I mean, I like to say Miami has a phenomenal defense too, but we haven't really played anybody like a Clemson yet. It'll be interesting to see how the season goes. If this scoring keeps on happening, there's a lot of records that are going to be broken this year
oh
for sure. For
yeah, their
sure.
Heisman Trophy ceremony going to be all quarterbacks, maybe.
Man, man.
With crazy numbers. Like, who you going to pick? But these guys got 5,000 yards passing.
I mean, if you got 300, I mean, if you got a bunch, I think they said like 5 or 6 big time school Division I quarterbacks had almost 400 yards. And
Yeah,
that's crazy. Regardless if they're playing bad teams or not. I mean, some teams did, some teams didn't, but that's a lot of yards,
that's a lot of yards. Yeah, that's a lot of yards.
man.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
those are all the questions that I have for you tonight, Justin. I
nice.
know you want to get your evening finished up, wrapped up, so you can just chill out for the rest of the night. I
Yeah, man.
appreciate you coming on the show again, and hopefully
Appreciate
I
you,
can
Mr.
have
Brown.
you on again real soon.
Always fins up, man. Whenever you need me, I'm here for you.
All right, I
All
appreciate
right, I
that,
throw this
bro.
out here too.
Oh yeah. Woo! All right, let me do that. Let me do that because we got a big game this
Oh
weekend
man.
against Michigan. So we got a big game this
Uh,
weekend.
I feel like you guys are gonna beat them. I really
I do.
do.
I do too. Yeah, I
They
do
didn't
too.
look they didn't look very good. But
Nah, when you got
you
two
guys,
quarterbacks, you ain't got no quarterback.
that's the truth. You do got two quarterbacks. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Man, future's bright.
All right. So I'll see you soon, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Appreciate you.
All right. You're welcome. Peace.
I see you. Peace.